If you have dandruff and you are not able to find the solution, then this video is for you. I'll help you identify your situation, guide you towards the best way forward, and also tell you what products you should be using and which ones you should avoid. Namaste gorgeous people, welcome to my channel Desi Curly. I am doing a video series on scalp care where I talk about different scalp types, different scalp concerns, product recommendations for each scalp type and concern, and how to manage it in day-to-day life. This is part 1, which is the most important one, the basics. Don't forget to subscribe and share it with your friends and family, whoever needs help. All of us love having long hair. I don't know if you know it or not, but healthy hair growth starts from healthy scalp first. And that starts from identifying the scalp type first, if it's normal or oily or dry, just like a face skin. And what scalp concerns you have, like dandruff, itching, flaking, redness, bumps, or whatever you have. Unfortunately, most of us do not know our scalp type and do not know what to do and how to identify it. That's why I am here. You know what? Scalp skin is just like a face skin. Some of us have oily scalp because the scalp skin is producing excessive amount of sebum, too much oil, just like in case of naturally oily skin type. And then this oil starts spreading from scalp to roots and then to hair, then giving overall very greasy, oily kind of look. And this situation aggravates when the weather is very hot and humid because the glands are then producing much more oil, like in case of face. However, in case of dry scalp, our scalp skin is not producing enough oil. So the scalp skin gets very dry and dehydrated. So this oil is very beneficial for moisturization of skin, be it face or scalp or anywhere on the body. And then this dehydration leads to that itchy, stretchy kind of feeling, and then skin starts flaking up on the scalp, and then you see flakes and scalp is also itching, just like dehydration of skin on face or anywhere on the body. And this situation aggravates when the air around us is too dry. For example, climate of Hyderabad or winters of Delhi or prolonged exposure to AC. Normal scalp, on the other hand, is pretty fortunate because it's neither too oily nor too dry. However, it can slightly change with weather, like it can get too dry in dry weather and it can get slightly oily in warm weather. For example, I have normal scalp and my scalp changes throughout the year because I live in North India and here the weather changes throughout the year drastically. Like either it's too hot, too cold, too dry. It's like it just goes on like that. However, something that's constant is the dandruff. It's always there, and that's my next topic, scalp concerns. Now, dandruff is a very, very common concern, but very few people know that dandruff in itself is not a disease. It's that white thing that's coming off on our scalp, and that white thing is our own scalp skin. Now, why that's happening, why this scalp skin is coming off is the main concern. Do you know we have live microbiomes, live microorganisms on our scalp, and when the population imbalances, that's when scalp issues occur. This can happen due to poor hygiene, crash dieting, poor nutrition, excessive amount of stress, hormone disorder, thyroid, smoking, alcohol, and so many other factors. And dandruff can be broadly classified into wet and dry dandruff. This has no real meaning, to be honest. This is just for your reference so that it's easier for you to understand when I later on tell you how to identify it. Now, when it's dryness, the flaking of scalp could be due to extreme dehydration and dryness of skin. So much that the upper layer of skin starts coming off in little particles. Now, in such cases, the scalp skin might feel itchy and stretchy most of the time. And using some kind of moisturizing product like oil before shampoo or maybe after shampoo gives temporary relief also. Now, this situation can worsen if it's very dry weather or if you are using very strong shampoo. For example, dandruff controlling shampoos. Now, if this is happening, dry, flaky scalp and itching all the time, you need to go see a dermatologist. Get it checked, get it diagnosed and see what's happening because it's not always dryness. It could also be eczema or psoriasis of scalp also, which is more towards dry, but it's a lot worse, like red inflamed itchy patches on scalp, and there's also sometimes bleeding also. Like just for example, in case of psoriasis, the dermatologist might give you some kind of scalp lotion or serum, some kind of moisturizing product, and also coal tar based shampoo to reduce this inflammation, maybe also multivitamin. So the treatment is a lot different and diagnosis is very important to identify, but treatment is going to go on. Now coming to wet looking dandruff. This usually happens for normal to oily scalp. Overall on our skin there's microbiome on our skin that stays there always and is essential for healthy skin, like fungi, bacteria, virus. They're already there. But when the population imbalances, like something gets more, something gets less, then this skin concern arises like seborrheic dermatitis. There's redness, itching, flaking, lots of irritation. I have seborrheic dermatitis too since teenage. Just like scalp psoriasis, seborrheic dermatitis is a lot worse than just flaking and itching. Along with extreme level of flaking, there's also yellow patches, like thick patches that are stuck to scalp and they itch badly. And then they turn into wounds and scabs, and if I itch them, because they itch so much, they start bleeding. And seborrheic dermatitis can also happen on ear, eyebrows, beard and everywhere, but it's not communicable from one person to another. And the treatment for seborrheic dermatitis is totally different than dry scalp or scalp psoriasis. So the diagnosis is again very, very important. You must be wondering if these scalp conditions like psoriasis, seborrheic dermatitis are treatable, like permanently treatable. They are actually not. Since teenage I have it, and since then I have tried all kinds of treatments like oiling, Ayurveda, homeopathy, allopathy, all of them, you name it, I have done it. But it's not treatable at all. However, it's highly manageable, it's very controllable if you use the right products and you do the right things. I have very healthy hair, healthy scalp also. My hair is getting pretty long even though I have seborrheic dermatitis. So yeah, the situation get really bad if I don't use right products, if I don't do the right things. But once you get it, you do it. And these are just few scalp conditions. There are more things like ringworm, eczema, folliculitis and whatnot. And the treatment is totally different in each case. So that's where you need dermatologist help and hand holding. Once you know the diagnosis, you can, later on after it's controlled, you can yourself choose products for you. Like I have this condition and I have to use these kind of products, which we are going to talk later on in part 2, part 3 of this series. So you need to keep watching all of them. In my next videos, I'll tell you what to do with dryness and how to control it, what things you should do, what is the healthy hair habit you should be having, and also how I control my seborrheic dermatitis. And if you still have any questions, please put it in the comments below. I'll be waiting for your questions and comments, and I'm here to answer. Don't forget to subscribe and share it with your friends and family, whoever needs help. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.